Well, and bill pay, I began general assistance. I could start there.
Okay. And I
Okay.
was starting road.
All right, then I'll start town and bridge. I mean,
Great.
town fund.
Great.
God. I have to go run and get my packet.
Okay.
Here, I'll be back.
Okay.
The big doesn't want to see it. No, you got that. Yeah, you got to concentrate better. Yeah, yeah. He's checking the bills and yeah, there's copies and stuff. People make faces and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see them again? I just read that. Oh, I put, yeah.
Is that Wally over there?
Yeah.
Hi, Wally.
I'm done.
Good. I feel like you guys are like I am during school, and now you're, you know, I feel free right now. I'm home. I feel bad, like I should put on a mask too.
That's all right. I'm going to start.
Much easier to understand without one. I know I have to repeat myself so many times wearing the mask all day.
Yeah.
And hearing kids with, you know, so.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream on YouTube now.
Okie dokie. I guess we're waiting for Claire and Dave, but as far as picking the chair, are we gonna wait for that then, or the chair of the meeting?
I don't think so. You need a shirt for the bill pay.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'm just gonna begin. We're waiting for Kim, but I'm gonna start.
Hi, Kim.
I don't think she's going to hear.
She's good now. She's unmuted. Did you hear us? Kim?
I saw her mouth move, but no sound was coming out.
No, she's not moving.
No, before she.
Oh.
I'm here. Ooh, what was that? Hey, did we start?
Yes, hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, I was on and I saw you guys, but you couldn't hear me.
Yeah. Yeah. They already started, yeah.
I
Right.
started with road and bridge, Kim, and Dave started with GA, I think. Is that right, Claire? Is Claire back? Claire said she would start with town funds, so I'm not sure.
Started with GA.
Dave, are you there?
Started with GA. Wanna go back?
Yeah, GA.
Right, that's right.
So if you want to take the back end of town fund or something, Kim?
Okay.
I'm back.
Claire, I said Kim's going to take the back end of town fund. So,
Okay. Starting from the front.
Wally, I'm just curious what the products are for the road materials that were purchased for $600. It's just got numbers. I just wanted to know if you recall what those were for that were purchased on September 1st.
What's the check number? I can look it up.
Okay, what's the check number?
Check number well, hold on. It's 21510. And at the top of it, it says 8067, but it's
50120.
21510. It's $588.
But she's opening up, yeah, it can be several things. Could be Sand could be bits of asphalt or gravel.
Okay. It'd just be helpful us to know the product, you know, it's got a code. And then, you know, as we look at it, it's just helpful to know what we're actually paying for.
Well, this doesn't specify, but most of it usually involves gravel or sand.
Gravel. Yeah, it's like 0051 CM dash
When we,
Beverly Materials from Beverly goes to Redeker, obviously.
when we patch somebody's driveway on the right of way, that's the kind of materials we use.
Okay.
But, you know, I can, and for future reference, I can try and get more specific as far as.
Well, it'd just be helpful to identify it, I think.
But,
So are we each gonna do our own payrolls as we come across them?
Yeah, maybe that makes sense because then we got to go back and pull up the payroll, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking because so much of this doesn't show up. So I'll do the road payroll. Dave, you
And
can.
I'm starting, I mean, I have the first payroll in town fund, so.
So Dave, you can do the GA payroll. Okay.
Like the better when Claire did all the work on payroll. I don't know why I liked it better that way. So I'll do DA.
I'm going to move on to 2 and not do payroll right now because I don't have that printed out to match it up. I have to print that later. So I'll just move on to road 2 right now.
I'm on GA2 now.
No way. It is chilly.
There you go. It would get 73 degrees, I'll put it up to 75. We'll take it on to 75.
Did I miss the Pledge of Allegiance? Or don't we do that now?
No, don't. At the board, at the meeting.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm done with general assistance, just gonna double back for the payroll.
Dave, we can't hear you very well, or at least I can't. I don't know if anyone else can, but you're, just so you know for the meeting, I don't know if you, can you talk again so we can?
Good or no good?
Very muffled.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
What about now?
Much better.
Much
Oh,
better?
Oh, yeah. Much better.
Okay.
go back to being muffled.
I hear that all the time.
Muffle yourself. A lot of asphalt. 14 tons, 11 tons. Wow.
It's a lot of asphalt. Kim, I just finished town fund number 1, so should I go to town fund number 2?
Yes, I started on 3.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
And I finished Road and Bridge 1 and 2, and I'm going to move to 3. But I haven't done the payroll, so. Wally, what do we rent from Linmar? It's just it's a $200 fee, but I'm just wondering what we rent. It just says rentals.
The towing company we use, one of the trucks broke down and they had to be towed to our office. Or our
Oh, I
yard.
see the tow. I see the tow for 200. I thought that was a separate charge, but that's part of it. Okay. Okay.
I think I know what so you mentioned the tonnage a few minutes ago. For asphalt, we're doing a resurfacing project around Emerson and D, Oak Street.
Oh.
In 3 weeks, it's going to be paved by the bidding process, the winning bid, Arrow. And we had to raise it up because it was poorly constructed initially, and it had to come up a couple of inches down maybe a 2-block period. So that requires a lot of asphalt. Because if it's just resurfaced and the street isn't even and it's lower in spots, it really doesn't do much good to pave it.
So you do that before?
Yeah, before the actual company comes to pave the street.
Wow. Okay. And you do that on your own instead of them doing it, right?
Yeah.
We've always done that first.
And it was it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I guess that was done.
Yeah.
Okay. Kim, I just finished number 2, so you're on 3 still?
I finished 3.
Oh, there's only 3, right?
Yeah, no, there's 4, but I'm almost done. I'll just finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Claire, can you go back, since I'm doing road 1, 2, and 3, but if you have it printed out to do the wire stuff for road, could you do that?
So you want me to do road what?
The wire, the payroll and wire.
Oh, okay.
It's on number 1 of road,
Yeah.
but I did everything else on number 1 and 2, and now I'm just working on 3.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. Did you do the IMRF wire?
You talking to me?
Susan?
Sorry,
Susan?
sorry, it was muted. No,
Oh.
I did not.
So, okay, I'll do that too.
Yeah, I didn't do the payroll and the wires,
Okay.
and then the direct deposits.
Okay, payroll for road and bridge and IMRF are done for road and bridge.
Great.
Okay. So anything else? So,
I'm just finishing up road and bridge and that'll be done. So I don't know where Dave is on GA, and I don't know if you guys did the payroll and the wires for town fund, right?
yes. Hey, Dave.
I'm wondering, Claire, if you could do me a favor.
Sure.
There's an IMRF payment wire for September 10th and a paychecks time attendance fee for September 11th that I don't see in my.
Okay, so for GA, IMRF 3,720.44.
Yeah, you got that. And then the 121.50, the payroll admittance fee
For which payroll?
for GA.
But for which date?
Oh, September 11th,
How much?
121.50.
Okay, I'm done with town fund.
And so that was September 11th for 121.50. There's one other one for September 18th, paychecks for service fee. It says 167.45. I think that should be 169.35 unless I'm wrong.
No, it's 167.45. That one I see.
Do you see that one?
I can't find the 121.
Yeah, because there's two of those. There's one 167.45 on the 4th. Then there should be then they're showing another one here on the 18th. I'm wondering if that should be 169.35.
Those two different ones, yes.
On the 18th, it looks like 167.45. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Hold on a second. On the 18th, oh, wait a second.
While you're looking, can I ask Wally a quick question? Wally, what are we, with Spacefo, we've got some consultation and design services. What was that for?
I'm gonna have to pull the bill.
It was $525, and they had a two-part. They had a consultations, and then they had a final engineering.
You know what that probably was for? You know, our foreman does the measurements for the sidewalk work we're gonna do this year.
Uh-huh.
Part of that is he spends part of the day with him, just basically checking his work, and sometimes there's adjustments on the square footage of the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure that's what it would have been, because that's been done recently.
Okay, so that was 21533. Okay.
That's, I think they're only billed.
For 525. Okay.
It had to be that.
Dave?
Yes, Claire.
Am
I wrong on September 18th, 169.35?
Oh, 169.35. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because my sheet shows 167.45 for a second time.
And
usually that amount changes each time. So I got September 18th.
yeah, I have 167.45 too.
For September 18th and also for September 4th?
September 4th is 169.35.
Okay, so September
Where do
4th,
you
I'm
see
gonna
that?
change that on the sheet, okay, to 169.35.
It should say 169.35.
Thank
Wait, where do
you.
you see that?
Here for the check date for September 4th. It's like page 8. Is that what you're looking at? And then it's the billing payment for paychecks. It's that 169.35.
I see 167.45.
Are you on page 8 of the, let's see. For September 18th, it says 167. Wait a minute, check date. Yeah, why does it say that? That's strange.
Yeah, I have 167.45 for both. I think.
I know one of them's 169.35. One of them somewhere.
So I'm looking at the September 4th payroll, and total federal taxes were 2429.51. Total state 443.89, and this was 167.45, the billing payment.
Oh, you know what? The 169.35, I'm sorry, is for road and bridge.
Oh,
The GA one is 167.45. Sorry about that.
so so both of them would be 167.45 for GA. There's 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Oddly enough, they're the same.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's the first I've seen that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what else is there?
I'm done with GA.
I'm done with Road and Bridge.
And we're done with town fund, right, Kim? Yeah, I think we are. So that's it, right, guys?
That's it.
Wow.
I'm sorry, there was somebody at my door. What did you ask me, Claire?
I said we're done with town fund, right?
Yep, we're done.
So we're done.
Never finish early.
Yep, we're done.
Shouldn't say never, but
I think this is record time.
yeah.
How about it?
Good work.
We close in 15 minutes break.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Yep.
I
Great.
make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
See you guys at 15.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Oh, just to let everyone know, I did email a board policy. I was working up until, as I mentioned, my computer went dead. So I was able to get it out. So if you want to print that out, I'm going to show it on the screen, but I thought it would be helpful.
Oh, it's not the one in here in our packet?
No, because that was the one from 2016 that we talked about, you know, making revisions to. So
Okay.
I put a revised policies that made suggestions on that we can talk about. So if you want to print it out, it might make it easier. Otherwise, I'll be showing it on the screen too. So, okie dokie.
You emailed it?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
So I think we could start, huh, Peter?
Yeah, we just go ahead and do the pledge and then we'll
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
roll? Okay, all right.
Those Kim Jones? No Jones.
Yeah, not yet. I'll text her, see if she's coming in. Okay,
Just Kim.
all right. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United
States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
I would,
I'll go ahead and
also
call the roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Highway Commissioner Kazmierczak. Supervisor, oh, I'm sorry. Assessor Moylan-Cry.
Here.
Clerk Gialam is here. Supervisor Marask is not here at the moment. Trustee Jones, not here at the moment. Trustee McKenzie.
Here.
Trustee Carabota.
here.
Trustee Sweeney.
Here.
I would nominate Claire to be chair for the meeting tonight.
Thank
Second.
you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead and call the roll.
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie.
Yes.
Trustee Carabota.
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
You notice how I'm always passing all the work on to Claire. You notice that.
Fine. Okay.
The intro
still-
paragraph, yeah. The
We're
intro
still
paragraph.
waiting for Kim though, right?
I'm going to text her right now.
Okay. This meeting will be conducted by audio or video conference without a physically present quorum of the Maine Township Board because of a disaster declaration related to COVID-19 public health concerns affecting the township pursuant to Senate Bill 2135. The township supervisor has determined that an in-person meeting at the township building with all participants is not practical or prudent because of the disaster. Township officials and legal counsel will not be physically present at the township building if that is unfeasible due to the disaster. Physical public attendance at the township building may be limited or not feasible, so alternative arrangements for public access to hear the meeting are available here. https://us02web.zoom.us/8405-444-7594. To obtain password to connect to this meeting, please call Richard Lyon at 224-257-4869 prior to 6:00 p.m. on September 22nd, 2020. The meeting will also be audio or video recorded and made available to the public as provided by law. We already did the bill pay review at 6:30 and finished around 7:15.
For the record, Trustee Jones has joined the meeting as well.
Yep. Sorry, I was having an issue with my iPad.
Oh, been there.
Mm-hmm.
So we ready for, oh, we did Pledge of Allegiance, sorry. Okay, so approval of the minutes of the August 25th, 2020 bill pay review.
Motion to approve, waive the reading.
Second.
Any discussion?
Trustee, or I believe Assessor Cried, do you wanted something?
No.
Okay.
Hearing none, can we call?
Dave needs to be unmuted. Dave needs.
Oh, Dave's trying to say something. There you go. Okay.
There he is.
You're unmuted now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Now you can talk.
So hearing no objection, no discussion, can we call the roll?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Approval of minutes of August 25th, 2020 board meeting.
Motion to approve minutes of August 25th, 2020 board meeting, waive the reading.
Second.
Anybody have any discussion or changes? Hearing none, can we call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Next is the approval of the general assistance expenditures. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve general assistance expenditures payroll for pay dates of September 4, 2020 and September 18, 2020. General assistance checks numbers 52930 through check number 52972 in the amount of $48,016.48. Waive reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, can we call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Next, I need a motion to approve the road district expenditures.
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of September 4th, 2020 and September 18th, 2020, and road district checks number 2150404 through check number 21536 in the amount of $59,925.04. Waive the reading.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion, revisions, questions? Hearing none, can we call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Next is the approval of the general town fund expenditures. Can I get a motion?
Sure. Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of September 4th, 2020 and September 18th, 2020, and general town fund checks 58013 through check number 58060 in the amount of $303,902.53.
Second.
Any revisions or any discussion on these? Hearing none, can you call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
On to new business. We have the discussion and vote on resolution 2020-3 for additional interim monies to be immediately paid to the agencies previously approved for funding in December 2019 for additional supplemental coronavirus expenditures funding.
May I read the proposed resolution into the record?
Absolutely.
Maine Township Resolution Number 2020-3, a resolution for additional interim monies to be immediately paid to the agencies previously approved for funding in December 2019, additional supplemental coronavirus relief. Whereas on or about December 16, 2019, the Maine Township Board approved certain funding for specific nonprofit 501c3 entities, persons, agencies, hereby agencies, via agency funding contracts for the performing of certain specific services for Maine Township residents set specific amounts of payment for said services. The overall payout totaling approximately $435,000. Whereas in April 2020, the coronavirus pandemic caused a significant growth in the need for services from these agencies to address the new and or increased numerous challenges to Maine Township residents arising from in part one, the loss of jobs and employment, as both the local and overall economies have now gone through an extended period of a shutdown, partial shutdown as a result of this ongoing pandemic, with reported resulting major financial stress and challenges to persons and families, including widespread loss of jobs, extensive unemployment, and lack of ability to obtain employment. And number two, significant increases in use and or abuse of alcohol, prescription medications, and illicit drug use and abuse, and three, so forth. Whereas again, the Maine Township Board has historically sought to provide assistance to the residents of Maine Township for such challenges and servicing needs by way of paying out certain monies to each of the said agencies in December of each year. Whereas in April 2020, the Maine Township Board, by way of resolution/motion, debate, and action, caused an additional amount of spending equal to 10% of the money so funded back in December 2019, totaling approximately $43,500 to be allocated and paid to each of the agencies proportionate to that which each received from the overall December 2019 approved funding i.e. each receiving an additional 10% of the monies allocated to that specific entity in December 2019. Whereas another 4+ months have gone by and these same challenges persist in many ways, are even greater premised on all that has taken place and is taking place as a result of the coronavirus-related challenges and government shutdowns, partial or complete challenges, in and about the residents of Maine Township. Whereas further regular funding considerations for such agencies is not to take place by the Maine Township Board until on or about December 2020, and the anticipated further challenges arising for Maine Township residents, including that as noted herein above, have caused a further urgent need for an additional duplicate 10% allocated payment, which comes to an estimated $43,500 to be paid to said organizations by the Maine Township Board, mirroring the amount, allocation, and means to each of said entities as the Maine Township Board had done in April 2020. Whereas said allocation and payment to each said entity would act as supplemental funds for the immediate providing of additional services and assistance aforesaid to Maine Township residents for such needs, present and future. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Maine Township as follows. Section 1, the Maine Township Board hereby approves and directs an immediate additional 10% payment of the monies previously allocated to each of the said agencies, which comes to an overall approximate payout of $43,500, be remitted to these agencies proportionate to the monies allocated to each of the approximate $435,000 by the Board in December 16, 2020. Adopted by the Board, if it's adopted, it would be this day, the 22nd of September, 2020. Is there a second?
Second.
Can we have some discussion? Because I have a question.
Okay, I have a question. Did you want to go first, Claire, or do you want?
No, that's okay. You could go.
Oh, just as far as funding, I'm curious to know what options we have, because this would be an out of budget item, Dana. And to you, I guess I'm just asking, I was looking for the, as I recall, looking at the most recent income statement, you know, and what we're spending. I'm looking for the road and bridge as we speak, but it looks like we are, how many months into the year? 6 months in, as at the end of August, and we have 53% left. So
we're right where we should be.
Right, yeah. Okay, so that would be one question I have as far as whether, you know, whether we would be out of the 10% requirement that we can't, you know, without adjusting the budget. And then secondly, it looked like the road and bridge fund is actually, you know, I know that that's a seasonal thing. I don't know if Wally's still here, but I guess this is to Carrie Lynn too, because, you know, if Wally was willing, we have 72% left after 6 months of the year, which is higher than 50%. So obviously there's a lot more spent in the winter. So I didn't know if if we had some option to maybe transfer funds from that fund if need be. Those are my two issues that I was just.
Mine was similar as far as the budget. I think that, you know, we budgeted $500,000 for agency funding, and we've already increased our $435,000 by the first 10%. So doing another 10% would put us over that. So I don't know if we have to, well, I think we should address it and talk about it. And I don't think we need another motion. Carrie Lynn, maybe you can guide us here. Do we have to actually do a motion that passes to increase our budget, or do we just address the fact that due to this extenuating circumstance and all of the reasons set forth in the resolution that we all agree to increase the budget if it passes?
So you would have to do a budget amendment if it's more than the 10% total amount of the budget. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but yeah, you would have to do it then. And I just want to ask, aren't you guys going into public hearings like in like 2 weeks related
Yes.
to these again?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, the money
So
that,
it might make,
the money that's funded, one of the concerns as is raised in the resolution is that the money, I raised the issue at the last meeting and needed to reduce it to a written resolution for presentation at this meeting. You're not going to see any funding at all from us until I believe after maybe late December, after December. I'm not sure if it goes into January, but from what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've talked to constituents, that the funding can really be used now. So that's why I raised it. So it'd be great if we can make it work. If we can't, I don't know, but it'd be great if we could make it work.
So if I can chime in for a quick second. So I know we're going into funding hearings, but for any agencies that we choose to fund would be for next fiscal year. So that is not immediate. We have 6 more months of these agencies currently that we're still going to fund. So we have a while yet on the current agencies of giving funds to.
So I think that we're under the 10% because it was 435 and then we gave an extra 10%.
Yeah, I got 522. It would put us at 522 if we add another 10%.
So Carrie Lynn, I know that the 10% is like a safeguard measure, but I mean, can we count on that? Like that's just a rule that as long as you're not over 10% over, you don't have to have another motion to amend the budget?
yeah, you can transfer funds up to 10%. If it's more than 10%, then you need to do a budget amendment. But if it's within the 10%, you don't need to do the budget hearing.
Okay. And then my other question just goes to the date of the payment. If this were to pass, why would we wait until December 16th? Wouldn't we want to give the relief?
Yeah, the payment would be immediate. I would suggest with the resolution.
Did we pay out the first 10% supplement immediately,
Yes.
Dana?
Yes. Yeah, we paid it out immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you want to amend this resolution?
I can amend to clarify that, let's see, Maine Township Board hereby approve and directs an immediate additional 10% payment of the monies previously allocated to each of the agencies, which comes to about $43,500. So we do use that language, immediate additional 10% payment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the December 16th, 2020 date. You meant 2019.
Yes, I will amend that 2020 to 2019. Okay. And if I could have
we're saying that we should wait until December 16th, 2020 to pay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Thank you, Claire.
Are there any other discussion or questions?
Carrie Lynn, can I just ask you really quick? So that line item specifically will just show an overage of that amount right at the end of the fiscal year. If we're not going to amend the budget, right?
Right, you're just going to do a line item transfer. It sounds like.
No, we're not. I don't think we can do a transfer from where. I think that line item will just be an overage.
Okay, wait. So where is the money coming from then?
Well, I mean, our reserves is just where it will come from.
So this.
All right. So you just transfer it out,
right? Well,
it's budgeted. It has to come from the budget.
I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, we can talk about. I'm not sure what you mean transferring, but
it has to come from the GA fund, correct? Because it's agency funding.
It's town fund. It's under town fund, not GA.
Yeah, remember we moved it. Yeah. I was wondering if, I mean, we won't know, in time, but this pandemic has lasted some time. And some of the programs that we funded at the same amount last year within mainstreamers, the programs themselves, we might have some extra, funding there that we're not expecting to. This has gone on longer than for what we didn't know what to expect before when we first were budgeting. So now that we've been in this quite some time, and it looks like, it's continuing for a while, I don't think at this point we might have some excess funding, but it's still, that particular line item would change to, over 500,000. So, Carrie Lynn, you were saying, I was asking about transferring if we needed to from road and bridge, but would we still require an amended budget?
Well, if you're transferring from different funds, if it's within town fund, if you're just taking out of the reserve line item on town fund and moving it into this, that should be fine.
Okay, well then that will, because we definitely have reserves. So.
Okay.
So we can do a line item transfer from reserves to a operating fund without any kind of budget amendment?
Yeah, if that's the line item that the agency funding is coming out of.
Well, then I'm just curious, just for future reference and for my understanding, our understanding going forward, what you're saying is rather than doing an amended budget, we could always look at the reserves as a source of funding before necessitating that for any line item, not just necessarily this one.
If your reserves are in your budget, that's a line item in the budget. So you could just do a transfer from one line item to the other.
Well, so we used to have a contingency line item. The last couple of years, we got rid of that line item. So the contingency line item, we kind of used to refer to as our reserves line item. We don't have that anymore. But what I was told by Chris, our accountant, was that if we do go over a line item, we don't have a per se contingency line item or a reserves actual line item to do the transfer. But if we go over a line item, that money just automatically comes from our reserves. The money is there for that purpose. If we need that money for this situation, for an emergency situation like this.
Yeah, but that's a whole different situation then. Then you're not taking money that you've already allocated in the budget and just moving it from one part to the next.
Well,
then you're actually increasing the budget.
Okay, well, we don't have a specific reserves or contingency line item to transfer $43,000.
Okay, then you probably do have to amend your budget because there's not money in the budget for this then, right?
Okay, then we have to amend. No, there's not.
May I be recognized, Claire?
Yes.
Can we do a transfer from capital fund?
No, that's not a capital expenditure.
I know it's not, but I didn't know if we could actually make any kind of a transfer. Carrie Lynn, would that be?
Could you line item transfers within funds? But if that's in a different fund,
is within town fund. So.
May I be recognized?
Yes.
Okay. This is Kim. What if we, because we're starting our agency funding hearings, within a couple weeks, what if we just went to the limit of 500,000, which would still be an increase, and then consider during agency funding raising our 500,000 so that the agencies could get more next year.
I think that
so they would still be getting.
They'd be getting about 22,000, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in the book. And then we wouldn't have to worry about transferring it. They'd still be getting additional funding, and then we can discuss raising our $500,000 limit for next year.
Well, we can amend the budget at the next meeting as well.
Okay.
Right. Or this meeting if we wanted to, but if we wanted to have time to just think about, how much we wanted to increase it, then we can do that.
I would say if we could amend the budget now, that would be fantastic. I think
No,
we're talking different.
No,
To amend the budget, you have to follow the notice and hearing procedures the same
Procedure.
way that when you did the original budget.
And Carrie Lynn, just so I'm clear, because I didn't hear your answer, can we transfer, even though it's it's within town fund, capital fund is within town fund, would we have the ability to transfer from capital fund into something like this, especially in light of the fact that it's a
that's improvement. No.
pandemic?
So this is going to sound strange, but normally if it's within one fund like town fund, you could do it, but you can't with capital fund because when the township board created the capital fund, you established a special use for that fund and special parameters with respect to the balance of it and everything and what it's to be used for.
So no.
So you couldn't.
Okay.
Well, if we did if I amended the resolution, then Carrie Lynn, if I amended the resolution to bring it down to the $22,000 figure, and then had an additional resolution for next meeting, we could amend the budget at the next meeting and bring in the rest.
Yeah, is there anything else in town fund that you could take that remaining money out of?
I think
Well, that's why I said if we had the time to go through the different funds and line items, we probably could come up with it, but I'm not sure. We would have to put some.
Each line item, I don't know about 43,000, but I'd have to go through each line item.
No, it would be
Well, we
more
don't need
like
22,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, it needs to be, I mean, that's why I was asking about some of the mainstreamers programs that we're not doing. You know, we allocated a lot more programs that we're not able to do right now. So what do you think, Dana, as far as?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'd have to sit down. I'm not prepared. I don't have the budget in front of me. I would have to sit down with my numbers. I definitely can figure it out. I'm just not prepared right now to give you an answer.
I think you guys should go along with what Kim suggested and Dave actually supported. I think that a lot of everything with our budget and everything was really cut down pretty to skin and bones. And to ask for a little bit more skin at this time is kind of a lot. Moving forward, I mean, this is October. Certainly when you have your agency meetings, you can start payments again and increase those payments. I think they really appreciate the $22,000 as suggested by Trustee Kim, you know, moving forward. And I think Dave Carabota kind of backed that solution too.
Yes, he did. We were just about to wrap that up.
We're going to amend. I'm going to amend to 22,000. It's a very good point you raise because it's a whole different situation now than we had last October and November. We're in and everybody's trying to maneuver through this environment. So I would say that I would amend the motion. I believe the figure would be 22,000.
I think it's 21,600. You might want to check it, but I think because it was 40.
So it's 500,000 less.
Minus, oh, sorry, go ahead. 43,500, is that it?
Right, ballpark 43,500.
But I'm sure we could come up with $600 that we could transfer if we wanted to round it up to 22,000.
Well, it's just 21,000, right?
Yeah, I got 21,600. Is that wrong?
Dave, are your numbers in here correct? Do you have approximate numbers?
Yeah, I would say this. Why don't we do this to be on the safe side? I'd amend to 20,000, and then we could see if at the next board meeting what we could do. I can come back again for another if we can, if the board thinks it's a good idea. You know, it'll. So I would say let's go for the 20,000. So I would amend.
Hold on. Excuse me. I mean, we're so close with the 22,000. It's just a matter of between $600 and $1,000. I'm sure Dana could find that somewhere.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Right, Dana? I mean, it's not like finding 22,000.
Right. Oh, definitely.
You could find 600 or 1,000 without, you know, running into the problem of having to do a new, increase the budget.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We can leave it at the 22,000?
If you want the exact figure of what's left over from the 500,000, it's $20,734. That includes the additional 10% that was paid out 4 months ago.
So we're just a little bit over, we're saying. We should be able to cover that.
So we'd probably then, with that, thank you, Richard. So 20,734. So we would make it 21,000. Can we do that? Would that fly?
You can do whatever you want, Dave. It's your motion.
Yeah, and I'll second your amended motion.
So what do you want it to be?
I'd like to push for 22,000 if that's
Yeah, go for 22. No, I'm serious. Dana said she could find it. I mean,
all right, 22,000. I would amend for 22 and also correct my error from 2020 to 2019 at the resolution last page. And with those amendments, I present the resolution to the board. And what if I have a second?
Second. But Dave, actually, I just want to say on the December 16th, you can actually end the sentence without even saying that because you already said it's an immediate payment.
I just want to make sure that it's clear that we're paying it out in the same structured way we did it prior, where it's a percentage of what they've already, based on the percentages they each received.
In proportion to what it is to the total.
Right. So can you just amend, I'm seconding your amendment, but I don't think we need to.
I already seconded it, Susan.
I had seconded it first.
You didn't hear me.
No, I did hear you, but I had already seconded it when he was saying it. So I seconded it, but I think you don't want to have the the December date because that's not immediate. So I would end it after you put the amount.
No, that was the date that our prior agency funding was done, I think.
Right. So we're following, saying it's if you look at the paragraph there in the last page of the resolution, it says it's an immediate payment of $43,500 distributed the way we distributed it proportionally on December 16 of 2019. That should be 19.
Right.
Just for clarification, that's really got to be in the last paragraph, not really in the preamble. It's in the preamble, but it should be in the resolution paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion?
Other than the fact that that was a fantastic board effort. That was really cool.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Great suggestion, Trustee Carabota.
Yeah.
I think these agencies
Kim and Susan Cry and all that. Yeah, it was a good team effort. And
yes, it was.
Can you call the roll?
I certainly can.
Thank you.
Trustee McKenzie.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Carabota.
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Okay. That passed, carried, whatever you say. Okay, next. Under new business, discussion of public participation policy. So we received in our packet the rules for public participation at board meetings, and it was adopted by the Maine Township Board on September 27, 2016. And this evening, just before bill pay or around that time, we received an email from Susan Sweeney. The board received an email from Susan Sweeney with a proposed, let me open it up. Susan, do you want to, is it called the proposed rules for public participation?
So I had put, I mean, it would be proposed. Yes, you're correct in saying that. But the way I wrote it was actually almost as a resolution where we would sign off on it. Rules for public participation at board meetings, and it would be updated and reflective as of today's date. So I'd like to put that up on the screen so that everybody can see. And then, so I'm going to do a share screen. Can you enable the shared screening, please?
Does Richard do that?
Well, should be working for me now, Susan.
Okay. Can you all see this?
Not yet.
No. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do the share screen. then instead of my whole, I figured out how to do this without putting my whole desktop.
There it's up.
Do you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously this is for discussion, and you know, I've given considerable thought about this and actually reached out to several residents too to see, you know, because people are obviously, we're a government for the people and of the people, and we want to know, you know, what people want and how they would like to, you know, get involved, and in the spirit of transparency and continuing to, as we videotape board meetings. We now put board packets online. So we've done a lot in the last, you know, during this term of our board that began in 2017. And I think, you know, to continue on that front, this would give a little bit more. So I'd like to read this, like David read the last one, and then.
Oh, wait. Before you do that, I'm sorry for stopping you, but I took a look at it very quickly right after bill pay, and it's very different than the style. It's not like you revised the old one. So what I was going to ask to discuss is, can we get a chance to look this over and kind of digest the differences so that we can adequately participate in a conversation? Because I know I can't. And you reading it to me, at least for me, and I'm just one person on the board, but to me, like it would just be blah, blah, blah. So
well,
I think if we're going to pass it.
For the sake of those people participating, do you think we could just read it through so that actually people could see it as part of this board meeting? And then we don't have to vote on it necessarily tonight because there's no, you know, urgency on it, but.
But I think reading it into the record, I think it depends on whether or not we're going to postpone this to the next meeting for discussion and vote. If we're going to vote on it now, then we'd read it into the record. If we're not going to,
there's no vote tonight.
Wait, you guys, we got to take turns here, one at a time. David, are you finished?
Yeah, I think everybody.
I can't see you on my screen anymore.
Well, I guess what.
Wait. I think I heard Kim say something. So since she hasn't spoken yet, if she has something.
I was going to say that this is just for discussion. It's not for a vote tonight. Not, and I just wanted to point out one thing that's on there. Susan has on there that we have to require their name and address, but that's actually a violation, a PAC violation. There's a decision on that was made by PAC, and it's a violation of OMA. So we can't actually demand that somebody give their address.
Okay, I was kind of following suit for
what's. Wait, hold on a second. Is that accurate, Carrie Lynn?
That's accurate, but I never even got a copy of this, so I haven't seen this before.
I'm going to make a motion that we actually table this until we all get a copy, you know, in advance. And I know now we do have it, Susan, and have a chance to look at it, and maybe even, you know, if anybody has revisions or proposed revisions to either of these, they can submit them in advance so that everybody can think about them, since, you know, we are trying to put rules or policies in place.
Claire,
I have a second.
I was wondering, Claire, if you would consider the motion being that we would bring it up on the next board meeting. Would you be willing to add that? Do we put it up on the next board meeting for discussion?
On the agenda for discussion, yes.
A discussion and vote.
That's fine with me.
Okay, I would go along. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So I think yes.
I mean, one of the things that I thought would be helpful to participants to see, you know, during this meeting, I guess, is just that, you know, expanding our ability to have participation during the agenda items themselves affords somebody the opportunity to, you know, come to a meeting rather than sit through some of our meetings, which are 3-4 hours, and participate on the comment, you know, on that particular agenda item. So that's what I was trying to achieve as soon as we're able to do that, you know, and vote on that. And then, you know, it would be, you know, you could have several times that you could have public participation, like other governing bodies have done, such as the library, which I recently participated in. So that was that's the thinking behind it. And that's why I think we need to enhance what we already do, which does afford us the opportunity to have public participation. But sometimes it's been after a vote. Sometimes it's been, you know, limiting in that regard. And I don't think it encourages people to come to a meeting if they know they can't, you know, specifically participate on the agenda item. So that's my intent.
Okay, I think because I did a motion to table that we do have to take the roll, but thank you for your comment and explanation. But I mean, everybody participating is also seeing the screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they have this in front of them just like we do, and you're gonna have this in the board packet next time because it's gonna be on the agenda.
Yes, well, I'd like to include it in this board packet so that people can read it and have it in advance. So I'd like to be in the minutes of this board packet as well, since I'm presenting it.
Okay, so can we do that?
Yeah.
Pete?
I mean, I'm just requesting it, so.
Can we do
Sure.
that, Pete?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. So can you call the roll then?
Yep.
Sure.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes, on the tabling of this
Yep.
discussion and vote.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yeah, I think it's the way it's presented, it's tabled until next board meeting for discussion and vote. I think it's a very good idea. Oh, I'd say yes.
and Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
So the motion passed. Okay, on to the next agenda item, LexisNexis Payment Solutions Service Agreement. So Dana, do you want to tell us about this?
That's actually something that Rich is going to present, and he's coming forward.
Okay.
Hello, this is
Hey,
a
Rich.
service contract for us to be able to accept credit card payments from the public. This is something that our clients have asked for many years, and due to the recent global pandemic and offering only telehealth services at this point, it's even more necessary. So I'll start with the bottom line is that it does not cost the township anything. That's the best part of it. It provides a convenience to our residents to be able to make credit card payments either online by themselves or calling over the phone where we can accept a payment. And there's a very easy accounting system where the money automatically gets deposited into the township's bank account on a weekly basis. We receive a detailed report at the end of every week to sync our internal records with the payments that are being taken in by clients over the phone or online. And we actually had 2 clients ask today if they could pay by credit cards. We had to tell them no, not yet, but hopefully if you are okay with this next month, we could do it. Any questions?
Well, it sounds like a no-brainer.
Right.
As long as there's a stipulation that the person behind that huge mask is Richard, I have no further questions.
So do we vote on this?
I would.
Yeah.
There's no cost for the contract, but Laura didn't want to sign it until it was brought before the board and you had a chance to weigh in on it.
So is it okay if I motion for us to vote on adding this LexisNexis Payment Solutions Service Agreement contract?
Yes,
Or
if you
do we
make
have
the
to
if you
put it-
I
do
would
we
think
have to say vote on the next agenda?
unless you you make the motion, Claire, and I'll second it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
would say
have-
it's okay because it's inherent to have a service agreement where that's a, you know, innuendo that we're voting. So I would agree that you could make.
Unless you want me to make the motion, I could do that.
Okay.
I make a motion to adopt the LexisNexis Payment Solutions Services Agreement as presented to the board.
Second.
Any discussion, any further discussion since we've discussed it? Hearing none, can you call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Okay. Now we're on personnel. I don't know if we have anything. There's no agenda items under personnel.
No.
Next is public participation. Do we have any people that are joining us that would like to participate or make any comments? Okay, I don't see anybody that wants to do that. So now we're on to old business. And that is discussion and vote for the purchase of a tent to be used for outdoor programs. And we have been provided with, I think it's Dana's research on the quotes for tents, the size that we need from various vendors in our packet.
Right. So Marie, actually from the senior department, I have to give her the credit. She did the research, but I know she doesn't attend the meetings. So I'm going to speak on behalf of Marie. So if you can pull out your sheet, if everyone has their sheet from the packet. I had her write a little blurb on the bottom. I hope everyone had a chance to read it. It's a little different, I think, than what we talked about last month. I think we were all gung-ho, and I was 100% in agreement with everyone that why should we keep renting when we should buy one? Because it just seemed like, you know, a better deal, and we would continue to use it for years to come. Even when COVID was over, it seemed that we could probably even use it next summer for outdoor events. However, the issue is now that when she made these phone calls, because tents obviously are in such demand, there is a minimum of 4-week delivery. What's happening now is, as you know, the weather's starting to change. So we think within another month, we're not gonna be able to hold outdoor events. I mean, mainly our events really are senior programs. And through probably October, it's gonna get cold, and I don't know if seniors are gonna wanna continue to have outdoor events. So the problem becomes is we don't really wanna, if we order a tent now, the delivery date could be the end of October, beginning of November. And at that time is probably gonna be the time that we actually stop the programs. So it kind of seems silly to put up a tent at that point. So I think our thought is maybe we should hold off until spring to make the purchase. So.
Well, are we going to be purchasing or renting any heaters? Sorry for cutting in.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, we can, we didn't really discuss it yet. We can purchase heaters, but again, I don't know if that's going to take us much past October, November. I mean, once, I'm sorry?
You froze there for a little minute.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Okay, so I think that could probably take us through October, November. I mean, if we, you know, again, depending on the weather. I mean, once December comes, you know, I don't know about that. I think it would be more beneficial to wait into spring. The other thing we did talk about is maybe purchasing it now and just housing it, but it's so big to house it. And then I'm not even sure we would keep it in the building. So I think we would still like to purchase it, but I think we're thinking if we can do it in spring, it would be a much better suggestion.
Kim, I'm going to ask you for your comments in 1 second. Dana, has Marie said when her senior programs are probably going to end outside?
Probably she's going to try to go through, again, she's going to try to go through October. Now, I don't know if you guys remember last Halloween, we had a major snowstorm. Right. So, I mean, every year is different. You know, it's hard to tell with Chicago weather. October could be nice, October could snow. I mean, we don't know. So we're hoping to go, obviously it's the end of September. We're hoping to go through October. If we had a couple heaters, maybe the beginning of November. But again, seniors don't want to stand out. Once it goes below 60, they're not going to stand outside.
Yeah.
So probably through October, and we're probably going to call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Kim first, and then Dave.
So when I was reading over this, Dana, trustees. What Dana touched upon is exactly the points that I was going to make. I wish we had thought to do this earlier in the summer because it also says that even if they were to put it up, get it early and put it up now, then it would have to be properly cleaned and dried before it was stored. So I think with, our unseasonal weather in Chicago, it might not be that cost effective to purchase it now. And hopefully by spring, we won't need it. Although we could probably use it anyway for outdoor events, but I don't know if we want to make this expense right now based on what Dana just said. Because I agree with her.
I concur.
And I just want to add something really quick. The reason that we didn't make a purchase at the beginning of the summer is we didn't know how long this was going to happen.
Of course.
Yeah, I think we were all hoping that COVID was going to be a couple months and that was it.
First it was supposed to be over.
Right. So, it wasn't our wish that this was going to be lingering. So anyways, just wanted to let you guys know that.
I think also maybe it's a little bit of a gamble, but it could be one that we may benefit from with Dana's point, because it's very possible next year the tents may actually be less in cost or at least delivered much quicker. And, so because right now, like you say, the market was saturated. Everybody, all these restaurants are trying to open with tents and trying to stay alive with tents. Also, there's going to be a significant number of restaurants now coming back that are not going to be coming back. So the tent availability is going to be much better. I'm speculating next year.
That's true.
I use tent from restaurants that don't make it, sadly.
Yeah. Terrible.
So we're just, from the sounds of it, does anybody want to make a motion? A motion
to table until further motion by the board.
Second.
Okay. Can you call the roll?
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes, to table.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Okay, next under old business is compensation for elected officials for next election term. I believe that Laura Marask would like to be involved in the further discussion of this topic. Yes, Kim?
Yep. So are you asking to table it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd second.
I agree.
Okay. Can you call the roll?
For tabling, certainly. Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Okay. That gets us to officials report. We have Dana's written report. We have Richard's written report. We have the clerk's report. Does anybody, any other official want to make a report?
Go ahead.
Actually, my report is not a report. I would like to ask questions about a couple of the reports if I can. So
sure.
That'll be my officials report. I just was reading through things and just wanted to ask. So first, Dana, I was just wondering, I know you mentioned in your report that we have OEM checking people out, as a new duty. What I was going to ask you is, can we, as we do in the school system, can we do self-certify where you actually have, your temperature check, and then each person is validating for themselves that they, can answer the 3 questions that have to be asked for COVID and take their temperature and then, either sign something or key in that they have certified?
I'm sorry, my computer froze for a second, Susan. Can you just repeat the last sentence or so?
Well, maybe I should understand what you proposed too, but my thought was to do something similar to what we've done.
I got where you said take their own temperature, but I lost what you said after that.
Oh, and then in addition to that, record it. And in addition to that, just answer the 3 questions that have to be asked about, any symptoms of COVID that are required. So I just wondered if that really had to be extra staffing doing that, or if we could just have each person that comes in do it kind of on their honor system themselves and check in.
I mean, that's something we can discuss. That's not something we talked about doing. I mean,
what is the current can you explain
well,
what the current process
sure.
is?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, normally we have some staff goes through our main entrance, and then usually our GA staff and our mainstay staff goes through the GA doors, because obviously that's closer to their office. So I've now sent out an email to all staff telling them everybody has to go through the main entrance, regardless of where your office is. And I have OEM staff come from 8 o'clock to about 10 o'clock in the morning. That gives a good window for when people arrive in the morning. And if they're slightly late, I still have OEM there. And they do temperature checks for every single person that comes through. And they stand right at the front door, so they really can't miss anybody, you know, that's coming into work. Now, in the afternoon, we do have some therapists that come a little bit later because they work later, because they have therapy sessions at night. So there's maybe 3 or 4 people 2 or 3 times a week that do come in at noon, and I've taken care of that. I have Rich, who does temperature checks for his staff, so that's taken care of. So we have all bases covered for all employees every single day. And luckily, we have not had anyone have a temperature. If they do, obviously we would send them right home. So that's, you know, that's what we would do. Now, we don't ask questions as far as, do you have these symptoms? Are you not feeling well? I guess it's the honor system. We're hoping if they don't feel good that they don't come. But again, also, we are thinking that would reflect that they would have a fever. So if the board wants me to instill other measures, I'd be happy to do that. But right now, we're just doing temperature checks at the front door. So,
well, you know, my thought is that's just extra staffing expense that we don't necessarily need if people were able to self-certify.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
I mean, if you have a couple, if you purchase a couple of those.
So for, as far as OEM,
the forehead temperature check, right? That you're using?
Right. So I have an OEM volunteer coming 3 times a week who's obviously not on our, I'm sorry, I understand what you're saying now, who's not on our payroll.
Oh, okay.
And John is coming maybe twice a week. So they are switching off. So I don't have somebody who are paying every day, you know, 5 days a week. So they're taking turns.
Okay, well, and you know, Carrie Lynn, I guess from the liability perspective, I know that I have to every day answer the 3 questions that are required as far as, you know, whether I've been exposed to somebody that's been tested, whether I've been exposed to somebody that has symptoms, and whether I've had any symptoms, and then also the temperature check. So that's something that I self-certify as, you know, I guess from a liability standpoint, I wanted to make sure that we're all right if we don't ask those questions, if we're not doing that right now. And, you know, can we put a provision in that people just log something in?
Well, right now it's only required for school districts. Any kind of certification like that. A lot of people are just doing it voluntarily. We could go to a self-certification thing if that's what the township wanted to do.
Well, if it's not required, you know, to ask the question, I guess, okay. But I would think that everybody could take their own temperature. That's.
The problem I have with that is I'm going to have 40 different people picking up their thermometer. And honestly, Susan, I don't think I want that taking place. Then I don't know how comfortable staff is going to be passing a thermometer with 40 employees every day. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
you know, I come in, I have to come in, use the sanitizer, take the temperature, wipe it down, go in, take it, you know, record it.
I mean, if that's what if the board wants me to do that, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Instead of having one.
So
Okay.
is there a reason, Susan, that you think that's necessary if we have this procedure in place that seems to be working and people are comfortable?
It was really just the expense of extra overhead, and I know one's a volunteer, so it's just, you know, looking at ways to have people be responsible themselves, record it, and not necessarily paying somebody, you know, an extra staffing job to do that. I just didn't see that to be necessary. But if you feel like it is, you know, then, you know, if you feel like that's the way to control it and we can't clean it, then, you know, otherwise that's fine. But
well, so is the answer to your question, do you want Dana or whoever is in charge of this to give us a report on how it's working and what it costs and put it on next month's agenda?
Yeah, I mean, do you have you have 2 hours, 2 days a week? Is that what you said?
Okay, I can't remember what we pay John Bennett. We pay him maybe I'm guessing maybe $10 an hour. So
I don't know if we want to go through the.
Wait, hold on. Let Dana finish, and then it's Kim's hand.
Okay, so if he comes, say, for 2 hours, 3 times a week, so that's 6 hours, and he makes $10 an hour. So what is that, $60?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's not, to me, it's worth it. I think we know we had some illnesses in the building, and we had to do some deep cleanings for $60 a week. I mean,
yeah.
But personally, I think we need to do that.
Okay, well, let's just see how it's going. So I'll drop my
okay, and Kim had her hand up, and then Dave.
Yeah, so I would defer to Dana because she's there every day, and if it makes the employees feel comfortable and safer, then I think we should definitely use the system they're using, and I don't see any reason to change it.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Dave?
No, I'm good, Claire. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Susan, did you have other questions?
Yeah, the last part of my report is questions is for Nader's report. So maybe he's probably not around. Dana, perhaps you can answer these. I just had a few.
I'll try.
I know he made some comments, which is, you know, good. That I guess the contractors didn't know they needed permits in the unincorporated area.
They always say that.
That was kind of alarming to me that after all this time, they still don't know this. Yeah.
They probably know.
Like, right?
So they probably know.
So then the question becomes, you know, what kind of enforcement? Because I know that there were 18 warnings and 8 tickets. So we've talked about this a number of different times. Like, what we're doing a lot of warnings. I'm assuming maybe the contractors too might have had some. Like, it'd be nice to see some, you know, enforcement, I guess, if they've been warned before. Hopefully we don't have multiple warnings to the same person. So.
Right. I mean, and maybe I can have Nader be more specific in his report. I mean, hopefully he's giving one warning and then that same person gets a ticket. Yeah, I don't think he's warning the same person over and over. I will definitely ask him and double check that. He shouldn't be doing that because then the person's never going to follow through. So, right. I mean, that's
warnings and only tickets. That was
right. No, that's a good question. So I'll double check.
I know we make, you know, we can make some money back on the tickets too.
Oh no, for sure. No.
And then the last question with him was, I was just wondering. So there's a lot. He was, you know, we've had this periodically, and I remember people in the past talking about this a lot. But huge amounts of garbage and bulk items and such, and it's, you know, frustrating for residents. He said that, like, if the stickers, why can't Republic just pick up the garbage if this is such, you know, a problem and an eyesore and all that stuff, instead of, like, if we require people to come in for the bulk item stickers? Is that because we only have X amount of stickers that, like, and garbage that Republic will pick up on any given day or week or something? Is that why?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was like, why do they have to come into the township and other people can get, okay. So people must not know that they need the stickers?
I mean, we do I mean, you know, we do as much advertising as we can to let them know that. So unfortunately, you know, maybe if you have somebody new that moves in the area, you know, they don't know right away, you know, but again, we try to get the word out.
How much extra would it be for us to just pick up the cost of some of this bulk item stuff? Is it that?
Oh, a lot. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, that would incur quite a bit. Yeah.
Because it's just, I feel bad for these residents in the unincorporated area that have complained about this for so long.
Right, I know.
Yeah, it seems to be a consistent
one I know moved out that used to come to the board meetings quite often. You probably all remember. who it was and actually moved out of the city because she was so
Yes.
frustrated with it.
Yes, I do.
Like, I mean, it's the one thing we can do for these
Right.
unincorporated residents.
I know.
Besides, you know, flooding problems and stuff, that would be nice to.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do they just have a limited amount? How many bulk item stickers do we have in a given month or?
I don't know if Viesha sells them. I'm not sure if she can chime in. I don't know if we have so many that we can, Viesha, are there a limit how many we can sell to somebody, or does it matter?
Price to it. What's the price?
We can't hear you.
No limit.
Oh,
What
no
is-
limit. Okay.
What's the cost?
And what's the, Viesha, what's the price that we sell them for?
One sticker is $3.25 at this time.
3 1/4.
$3?
3 1/4.
Yes.
$3.25.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how much is it per month to have bulk garbage pickup? How much?
Oh, I don't know that.
Just, I mean, Susan, do you want to just put that on the agenda for next time, that we want to know like what it would cost to provide this kind of service to the unincorporated residents? Since a lot of our tickets go for this kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe we could just get, you know, Dana, if you could just ask a little more of a report on this, like.
We're just trying to talk.
I'm saying the stickers are for extra garbage, not for, you know, or recycle, yeah. Not regular garbage.
We're trying to figure out how much it would cost to pay for all of that to be picked up on a monthly basis.
How much is per month they pay? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we wouldn't know. We would have, right now, a resident pays $20.41 per month.
Just for regular pickup, right?
Yeah, and the senior discount, it's $18.35. Every resident is allowed one bulk item per week. Okay, and then anything extra, they come in and get the stickers. We have a lot of tenants that just dump. They leave their place that they're living at, they dump all the crap. Oh, excuse me.
Now, are these people?
That's what it is. That's what it is. And that's
So most of the time it's when they're moving out?
When they're moving out, yeah. They're transients. You know, 1 year lease, they don't pay, and then they leave.
So it's not just the bulk. This is just other stuff too.
Right, exactly. Now, Republic's contract is going to be ending March 31st of 2021. So we got to start thinking about that too, going out to bid. Or, I don't think we can go out to bid. Maybe just extending the contract for the new board then to go out to bid.
Well,
and that's about it. Anything else?
I don't know what creative solutions we could have to fix the clutter and garbage problem there, because we just charge a little bit more and have them pick up everything, you know? I don't know.
Well, maybe with the
you're gonna have a lot of complaints from residents. If the bill goes up a nickel, we get phone calls. Not, you know, that's the problem too.
April 1st, I get so many calls because up the price, and it isn't even that much.
Right.
So, okay, but it is a 5-year contract, and it is ending March 31st of 2021.
Kim, did you have something to say? You're on mute.
Here we go.
I think we've kind of gone beyond the scope of what a report is intended to be.
Yes, I think so too.
But question, but I think
when it comes to the unincorporated area and trying to fix their problems, it kind of rises to the top. But
thank you, Claire. And really, that's why I waived my report to ask questions. So I could have put this at the new agenda, but I'm finished. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have an officials report? Dave?
This dovetails right into what I was going to say about cleanup give back. Despite the COVID challenges, et cetera, Donna Adam and her team from Cleanup Give Back has been out there cleaning up our Maine Township community. She's had several events. I wanted to give a shout out, please, to keep up the great work. Also, I attended the Township Officials of Cook County 2020 Annual Conference. Of course, that went by way of virtual, which meant that I didn't get a salad, and I didn't get pasta, and I didn't get my glass of wine, but the meeting was great. Learned an awful lot. It was some good pep talks that were really needed. Lastly, just again, a reminder to our residents that our churches are open, they're available. We have the schools that are open. St. John Brebeuf Church had their outside mass on August 24th. It was a fantastic success. They're having their next outside mass on September 27th, which is this Sunday at 3 p.m. Just stay in your car and get some good blessings and meet some nice people. So we're out there for you. We're here for you. And if there's anything else our board can do, just let us know. And again, thank you to the board for passing that resolution of additional funds to our agencies tonight. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Dave. Kim?
I just have a short report. I attended the, I think it's the third, it was the third drive-in concert for the township, which had John Michael Coppola and Kara Kesterling from the Jersey Boys, and it was wonderful. And once again, I have to congratulate and thank the mainstreamers and Marie and Monica and Therese and Oksana for doing a great job and really keeping our seniors healthy and active during this pandemic when, you know, isolation is a problem we don't talk about very much, but, you know, we have mental health issues that we have to deal with other than just getting sick. So they're doing a great job, and it was really fun. Beautiful evening. So thanks again. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Kim. It did sound like a really great event. Anybody else?
I would like to just add to what Dave said, that Donna Adam had actually just gotten a governor's award, which is a big award.
I saw that, yeah.
Illinois Commission. So that's more than just, you know, volunteering here. Everybody's been recognizing her in the state. So she was one of 28 recipients in the entire state of Illinois to get this governor's recognition. So congrats.
Yeah,
well deserved.
Yeah, fantastic. Carrie Lynn, do you have a report? You're muted. I wave mine. So that means we are done. We have nothing in closed session. So I motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think that carries.
Good night, everybody. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dana.
Bye. Thanks, Claire.
You're
Peter,
welcome.
Richard.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Thanks to everyone.